Hello everybody and welcome back to IDI Art Class. If this is your first time joining, my name is Jolene. I'm excited to have all of you here with me today. Today we are going to do some tie-dye. It is going to be so much fun. So let's see what we need for supplies. Okay, you can see I've covered our table with brown paper so that when we get markers on it, it will just get on the paper, not on the tabletop, and it's for easy cleanup after. All right, so now for supplies, we're going to use permanent markers. Make sure you have some really pretty colors, but use whatever you have around the house. The most important thing is to remember is that they have to be permanent. And then we're going to use some rubbing alcohol and a spray bottle. You can use a spray bottle like we're going to use today. If you don't have that, you can also use a eye droplet if that's what you have around the house. But we're going to use the spray bottle when we show it today, okay? And then you're going to need a piece of cardboard. And so I have a piece that I just cut from an old box, which was a grill. So maybe you have an old box laying around, you can cut a piece. We'll go over the size of the piece in just a little bit. If you don't have a piece of cardboard, maybe you have an old cereal box, that can work. Maybe one of those, an old folder, or maybe you have a used folder you don't use anymore from school. You can use that as well. So there's something around the house, and all it's for is that we're going to put it between the two pieces of material so that the markers don't run to the bottom side. Okay, so it's just as a barrier. And then you're going to need either a blow dryer or an iron. And if you're using an iron, make sure that you have adult supervision when we get to that point. And the next part is you're going to need something white. So find something around the house. If your mom wasn't able to go out and get you something, that's okay. There's definitely something around the house you can use. So you can use a t-shirt. Maybe you have a t-shirt that you have and it's got like an emblem on it right here, or it's got a picture on it. That's okay because it still has like lots of white space, right? So just use that one. That will work perfect. We're also going to do some socks. You might maybe you got some white shoelaces. That would be fun. A pillowcase, a washcloth, and then I'm going to do some canvas shoes. So I know you've got something around the house that is white that you can use. So gather up all your supplies and we're going to get started. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to cut our cardboard so it goes in between the two pieces of material that we're using. So whether you're using a pillowcase or a t-shirt, you're just going to cut that cardboard so it covers the inside. So I'm going to show you what I mean by doing it with this t-shirt. All right, so we've got the bottom piece of the t-shirt and we've got the big hole. That's where you're going to start putting your t-shirt on, right? So we're going to take our piece of cardboard and we're going to put it inside the t-shirt or the pillowcase or whatever you're using. And I'm going to show you on the pair of socks as well, so you can kind of see two different things. And then you can just adjust it to whatever you're making at home. So you're just going to get that all the way up your t-shirt. So anything that you're going to be coloring, you want to make sure that you've got that cardboard in between. So now you can see we have cardboard in between our t-shirt, all right? Or pillowcase or whatever you're doing. And then you're going to take it and you're going to make sure that it's nice and smooth. So take your two seams that you have over here on the side. And you're just going to bring it and make it nice and even and nice and smooth and kind of push all those wrinkles out, all right? Now, I'm going to show you on a pair of socks as well, right? And I'm going to actually cut the cardboard on this one just so you can see. I'm going to use a file folder on this one because it's a lot smaller. So I'm going to come here and I'm just going to put my sock on the file folder. I'm going to leave the side that folds open, the folded part. I'm going to leave that and not cut it. And then I'm just going to cut it right down the side like this. And then we can toss that away. We've got our sock, and I'm going to cut it around. I'm just going to make it a little bit rounded on the end so that it will kind of fit inside better. And then we can discard that piece. And we're still a little bit wide. See that the cardboard's still a little bit wider, so it's not really going to fit in there. So just bring it around, cut it up around, kind of use your sock as a template. See that? So now my cardboard kind of looks like my sock. We're going to take it and we're going to put it inside. Just like that. All right, so now the fun begins. You're just going to take your markers and you're going to color and just make your design on whatever you're using, whether it's a t-shirt or a pillowcase or whatever. And like I said, I'm going to make some canvas sneakers because I'm going to be sporting some tie-dye this spring. So, like I said, just make your design however you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to show you a few different ways you can do some things. And then just do your thing and be creative. So Peyton is progressing with a lot of swirls. Those are going to be super pretty when they all start blending out and looking tie-dyed. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a canvas shoe. And I've got my template in here that I used, that I cut. And I'm going to just slip it right inside there. So you can just go ahead, free willy, and do whatever you want. Make your designs on your t-shirt, shoes, socks, pillowcase, whatever you've got in front of you. Or you can kind of go along with me. I'm going to show you how maybe to make some flowers, how you can make some swirls. So if you want to just kind of watch and then do it, you can do that. Or you can just jump in and just start drawing. All right? So let's get started. So here's some other shapes that you can make as well. There's a burst like that. That's going to be super cool when it spreads out. And then she's got this here. Those are going to be really, really neat when they spread out. All right, I am going to start with some swirls. So I'm just going to take one of my markers and I'm just going to start right here. And I'm just going to make the inner swirl and I'm just going to do this. Okay, and then I'm going to take another color, and where I have white, I'm going to put some pink in there. And then I'll bring some pink around outside. Just like that. And I'm going to make another swirl. And I'm going to connect it to that first swirl. And I'm going to do another one down here at the toe. And I'm going to bring it into that first one. Do this so you can see it a little bit better. See what I'm doing? So I'm just going to keep doing that on my shoe, but I am also going to grab my sock that we put a cardboard piece in, and I'm going to show you how you can do some flowers. Okay, so figure out what color you'd like the center of your flower, and I think I'm going to use this blue because I've already got it in my hand. And you're just going to make a dot, just like that. And then you're going to take another color, and you can do the petals however you want. I'm going to kind of go this way. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and I'm going to take another color. And I'm just going around. So I've got my centerpiece, and then I'm just kind of going around it with other colors. And you're just going to kind of dot your marker on there. You don't have to color everything in completely, and we're going to get to that as to why in just a little bit. We're going to get all of our coloring on first. All right, So we kind of have a flower there. And you can just make another burst. Maybe we can do a burst that goes like this. We'll do a triangle burst. I'm just doing a few different ones so you can kind of see how it works. Okay, so I did that kind. You can do whatever's going to work for you, but those are a couple different kinds of kind of bursts and flowers that you can do as well on yours. Or you can just do, you can just take it like this, and you can kind of just scribble, make some lightning bolts. You can do that. You could just take it and you can just do some dots if you want. You can do all kinds of things, whatever you feel like being creative with. That's the really fun part about this, is that you can do your own thing. So I'm just going to do some different samples on this one sock, so then when we get ready to do the part that makes it spread, you'll see what it does. All right, so I've got some dots. I've got some kind of a flower. I've got some bursts, and then I've just got some scribbles. Or maybe you want to do, let's try a hash mark. See what the hash mark does. I've never done that, but let's try it. All right, so we're just going to leave that sock, and I'm going to go back to my shoe, and I'm going to keep putting some swirls on there. So how are your projects looking? Is it looking pretty cool so far? I cannot wait to see everybody's. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just putting swirls, and I'm just filling them all in there with different colors, making it all pretty. Alright, so that's what my toe looks like. And now I've got to figure out what I want to do up here. I'm not sure. But I think what I'm going to do is I've got my toe like that. And I think I might just do I'm just going to extend these ones just a little bit so they come up and kind of blend in. So that's what the toe of my shoe looks like. I am way excited to see what this is going to look like. And so I think I need something cool along the sides as well. So let's see. Let's see, what can I do on this one? Actually, you see here where we've got a seam? I'm just going to take that and I'm going to leave this white, but I'm going to do this part here, the back, and this back piece right here. I'm going to do those with some swirls as well. I'm just going to color in a little bit with some yellow. Then I think I'm going to take my orange, and on this piece right here where it comes down, there's just like a piece that's like this wide that goes straight down. I'm going to do some lightning bolts. And then I'm going to kind of do the same thing over here. Take some yellow like I did on the other one and just kind of color it in a little bit. All right, so I've got my toe and I've got the back side of it. I think I'm going to leave it like that. So you keep on drawing until you're finished. If you're not done, just keep on doing your sketches, keep on drawing, and then go ahead and hit stop or pause. And then when you're done, all done drawing, then jump back on with me, and then we'll do the next step together, okay? So I will see you soon. Keep drawing, be creative. I cannot wait to see. All right, how's everyone's drawings coming along? I cannot wait to see them. This is like super fun and exciting for me. So, I have a question for all of you. How many of you have wondered how this is going to look like tie-dye and not just some drawing that we've done on a shoe or a t-shirt or whatever you're working on? Well, let me ask you all a question. Does everyone know what soluble means? Soluble means that it's able to be dissolved. And everything is not dissolvable by the same means. So let me explain to you. So how many of you have had a piece of homework that you've written, whether it was in ink pen or maybe you printed it off your computer printer and you spilt water on it, it got wet and the ink like dispersed and you couldn't read it anymore? Well, that was because that ink was dissolvable by water. Okay, these are permanent markers. Permanent markers are not dissolvable by water. So if you took a piece of paper and you wrote something in with one of these permanent marker Sharpies and you put some water on top of that paper, you'd still be able to read what you wrote with the Sharpie marker. It wouldn't dissolve because it's permanent and it's not dissolvable by water. But it is dissolvable by alcohol. So that's why we're going to be using the rubbing alcohol in a little bit, and you're going to see when we put the rubbing alcohol onto our item that we colored, it's going to disperse it. It's going to start to dissolve it, just like on a piece of paper with printer computer ink or a pen. Alcohol is going to do it with this. It's really cool to watch, and you're going to actually be able to see and watch it. So this isn't just art class today. We're doing art class and science class all in one. Who'd have thunk that, right? All right, so finish up your drawings, and when you get done, come back and join me. But if you're not finished, go ahead and hit pause. When you're finished, hit play, and you're going to pick right back on up, all right? So we'll see you in just a few. Okay, so now that everybody has their item all colored and ready to go to the next step, before we do the next step, I want to make sure everybody puts the caps back on their markers. That way they won't dry out, and you can use them again for maybe some more tie-dye, or maybe for another project that we have coming down the line, okay? So go ahead and get everything all capped up, and then we are going to start with the tie-dye part. Are you ready? All right, so this step here might need an adult to help you, or maybe an older brother or sister, but you're going to need your rubbing alcohol and your spray bottle, and we're going to pour some rubbing alcohol into there, okay? If you're don't have a very steady hand, or you're smaller, you might want to ask somebody for some help. And you're just going to pour it in there. Be very careful. It just goes in the bottle. All right. Make sure you put the cover back on your alcohol so it doesn't evaporate. We're going to put the cover back on our spray bottle. And now we are going to see how this soluble works to make it dissolve, okay? So all you're going to do is lightly. You don't need a whole lot. Now, if you're using a dropper, you're going to put maybe put your alcohol in a bowl if you're going to be using an eyedropper instead of the spray bottle. And then you're just going to squeeze the top and get the alcohol into the little tiny tube part, and then very small droplets. Don't dump it all on there. You want very small droplets, and you're going to just kind of drop little tiny droplets all over. Now with the spray bottle, all we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to spray it on there. You just want enough to cover the markers that you did. And now let's watch. Watch how your colors start dispersing and they start going into each other and making it look like tie-dye. And it might take a few because the alcohol's got to get into the marker part. So it's not going to be instant, but you can start seeing it to work right here. See how it's tie-dyeing already? It's starting to work. And if you need to, just spray a little tiny bit more, but you don't need a whole lot. And that's why also you wanted to make sure you put paper down on your table, because it is going to drip. So the alcohol is going to drip. See right there? It will drip off. I have a piece of paper towel here. I'm just going to kind of wipe that there. But you can kind of see how it's working. Pretty cool, right? That is so neat. So just let it do its thing. It's going to take a little bit, but it's going to dissolve and it's going to start going. It's just so neat just watching it. So you're going to do that on all of your projects. And if you have some spots that aren't really starting to like dissolve, maybe spritz them a little bit more. And then we're just going to let it sit there for a little bit. So if you have something else you want to do while this is kind of doing its tie-dye thing, you can do that. Make sure you spray your entire project. I'm going to get the back side of my shoe as well. And we're just going to let it sit there for a few and let it do its tie-dyeing magic. I'm just wiping off the sole part. Look at the toes already coming together. Really cool. Look. I do have some on the very top it's still not kind of, it's just now starting to blend together. right, so we're going to let these sit so that they can blend. So go ahead and hit pause, and then once it's all blended, then come back, hit play, and then we'll finish everything up. All right, Peyton has hers all squirted, and look how awesome. See how everything's blending and bleeding out? It looks so amazing. How does yours look? I really can't wait to see it, so make sure you send us pictures. All right, and now we're going to do the sock that we did together so you can kind of see how those blend together. See, it doesn't look like there's some scribbles anymore, does it? It's pretty cool. Everything all just blends together. So it's like mess-free tie-dye. Super fun, right? So we're going to let this dry. And we will be right back. Okay, so now we're ready to set the marker into the fabric. So how we do that is with heat. That's why we've either got a blow dryer or we have the iron. If you have to use the iron, then please get with an adult and let them know that you're at this step now so that they can come over and help, at least overwatch and see, so that nobody gets burnt and hurt. All right, so now we are going to set the markers. Are you ready? All right, so now we're going to use a blow dryer or the iron. If you have a blow dryer, mine looks a little bit different because it's a high heat blow dryer and it's for crafts, so it's a little bit different than the kind you have at home, but the one you use for your hair works perfect. So you're just going to turn it on high and you're just going to blow it over your surface, no matter what kind it is, and you're going to blow it until it dries off, okay? So you just want to get everything dry. If you're using the iron, then you are going to have an adult with you, and then you're just going to set it on high, let it get hot, and then you're just going to press it down onto your material, and just so that it gets dry. You're not going to be able to, if you did a shoe, you're not going to be able to use the iron, so you'd have to use the blow dryer. So it really kind of depends, but most items you can use the iron or the blow dryer. If you're doing it all by yourself, I highly recommend you use the blow dryer method, okay? So get those finished up, and then hit pause, and then come back and join us when you're all done, okay? All right, so how did everyone's project turn out? I am in love with my shoes. I cannot wait to wear them, and the socks too. So send me a picture of what yours look like. I can't wait to see everybody's. So that's pretty much it for the day. We learned a little bit of science along with our craft today, so that was a pretty educational, fun craft day, right? So we learned how things dissolve and how they dissolve by different methods, whether it's water or alcohol, and there's other means too. So make sure you get all of your homework done that the school sent you. Have fun with your crafts, and until next time, bye-bye.